Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome back to another project video. I am sharing my version of this farmhouse fall box. Now, I was inspired by something I saw on Instagram. I will link my inspiration in the description box below because I do want to give credit for that inspiration. I am all about community over competition and supporting other creatives. Now, the supplies that I used are mostly from the Dollar Tree, with the exception of the paper that came from Hobby Lobby. So I have, the pumpkin, the box, the flowers, the stickers, the styrofoam, and the little welcome sign is from that little harvest pack of galvanized words. The first thing I did was remove the raffia bow. I took off the leaf as well as cut off that jute stem. I didn't need that. Then I took my elephant chalk paint. It is a gray paint, and I paint it around the edges of the pumpkin. I don't paint the whole front, but I do paint the back. I'm painting the edges because if my paper doesn't secure all the way to the edges, I'll show you that a little bit later, then I don't see any of the orange of the pumpkin, that it will blend in with the back. I wanted to make a bit of distressing, so just follow along with me here. I have my hot glue and I am just going around the pumpkin, and I'm just going to put some hot glue on there. It is going to make some humps and bumps, and I don't care if it's more in one place. It just kind of adds to the distressing of it. I think it adds character to it, and I achieves the look that I was going for. So I just make the rims and the edges of the pumpkin. I should have completed this step before I painted my pumpkin, but I just completely forgot. So if you recreated, trace out your paper first so you don't make this mistake that I'm going to show you. Anyway, so I traced out the pumpkin, and then as you can see, I'm cutting here. I'm like, oh no, I got some paint on there. Oh my goodness. So I have to trace out another one, and don't make that same mistake. So do it before you paint your pumpkin. Anyway, so then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Mod Podge, and I'm doing this slowly because I'm going to show you that it gives me the best results. What I'm looking for is I'm trying to create some ridges on my pumpkin, and so I just put a little bit of Mod Podge on there, and then I'm going to put some on the paper, and I'm going to work in sections, smoothing that down with my little scraper, and also I have this little tool, that little tool, I forget what it's called. Anyway, but I smooth that down the best that I can. I'm not putting a coat of Mod Podge on the top of the paper until the bottom completely dries. I learned that from watching someone else's video. That if you let it completely dry before you put your Mod Podge on there, that you don't have any of the bubbles. Now, I just have some of the raised areas where my ridges of my pumpkins are, and I'm completely okay with that. But if you don't want bubbles in your paper of your when you put Mod Podge on, let it completely dry before you put the top coat on. Now I'm going to take my coarse sandpaper. I have a 60 grit sandpaper, and I'm just going to rough up the edges, just kind of taking off some of that. And you can kind of see where like a little glob of the glue kind of makes it a little more raised. And as I run my sandpaper over it, it gives more of the distressed look. You're going to have some paper particles or dust particles. I just use this tack cloth. I will have a link in the description below if you would like to check it out. So that I use these in my craft room all of the time, and it helps me get off those little dust particles and clean up my projects. So now what I'm doing is I am putting a second coat of Mod Podge on top of my little pumpkin. I'm going to give some shading to my pumpkin. I'm using this Americana brown color in milk chocolate. I just take my flat brush. I will have a link in the description below of the brushes that I use because I do get questions about those. Anyway, but to do my shading, I have some clean water. I dip half of my brush in water, half of my brush in paint, smooth it out or blend it on a paper towel, and then I shade my projects. To wrap the stem, I'm using this burlap from the Dollar Tree. I cut it in half because it's a little easier for me to work with. And then I'm going to hot glue it to the stem. I'm using my pink finger caps. They're little hot glue finger caps, kind of protect your fingers. You can get them in any craft store where glue is sold. I will have a link in the description to my Amazon store. Also, a friend had shared that she found some over at the Dollar Tree. I've never seen them, but y'all be on the lookout for that. The box I'm using is also from the Dollar Tree. It is 4.5 inches tall, and then it is 5.5 inches wide. So it's the perfect little size for me. And what I'm going to do is give it 2 coats of this elephant gray chalk paint. To add some extra touches, I take my fine Sharpie marker, just go around the pumpkin to enhance it a little bit. This is strictly a personal preference of mine. I like to do that, as well as give some splattering to my projects. I'm using some of the brown paint that I used for the shading. And then I didn't show it on camera, but I painted my galvanized welcome black, and then now I'm showing you I gave everything a coat of varnish. Now to glue the welcome to my front of the pumpkin, I'm using this rapid fuse glue. It is like a super glue. It glues really fast, and I don't know, I just find better results with this rather than just using hot glue on this. So I just use my rapid fuse glue to it, and then it just, attaches there to the pumpkin. And then for the fall, I'm just taking my stickers and I'm not putting them all the way down. I just want to make sure that I have them centered. So then once I figure out the placement, I go back and I put them where I want them. You can also use your Cricut silhouette, or if you find another place that has stickers to spell out the word that you would like it to. Now I'm just going back with some black paint and touching up some of the little parts that just by handling that welcome sign, it just kind of came off a little bit. And then to attach the pumpkin to my box, I am just hot gluing that on there, and then now it's time to decorate it. So this is how my box is looking so far. I just input those 3 little sections of styrofoam in there and then covered it with Excelsior. Now I'm just adding some flowers to the box, just hot gluing them in there. Some of them I don't even think I hot glued. I just stuck them in there until I like the look of it. I am not a professional floral designer. I've never been to the floral design school. I just stick flowers in there until I like it, like the look of it. I added some of those hot bushes from Dollar Tree. I love those little flowers that the Dollar Tree has now. Now we're going to make a bow. The black and white and the orange and white is from Hobby Lobby. The white chevron and the burlap is from Dollar Tree, and that other little burlap is from Walmart. I got that at an after Christmas sale several years ago. Now I cut these ribbons at 12 inches, and then I just make a dovetail or a V-cut, however you want to say it. I like to do that. It kind of adds just a little finishing touch for my bows. Now using my little mini stapler, tiny attacher. This is one of my favorite crafting tools. I have mentioned that before. I layer my ribbons the way that I want, and then I secure them with the little stapler. It just kind of holds everything together. And then just taking this little burlap, this is the one that I got after Christmas from Walmart. And then I just make a little bow. It's like a 3-inch loop with like some 5-inch tails. So then I just make that like that. I have this little piece of burlap that's kind of the end of the roll of the burlap. I kind of like the way that it looks curly like that. So I just layer everything on top of each other. And then I'm like, we got to add some raffia, because this country girl would not have a country project without some raffia. So we're adding that to the middle of that and layering that burlap on top of that. I have a chenille stem that I will twist everything around and secure it all together. And then I just hot glue the bow to the little stem just right there on the top. And this little project is complete. Again, look in the description box for a lot of the supplies that I mentioned. I will have links to those, as well as the inspiration for Instagram. If you make this project, please tag me on Instagram or share it with me over in my Facebook community. If you do request to join, please answer the question that I have. Otherwise, your membership will be pending until you answer the question. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your kind comments, your sweet support. I love you all so much. And you all have a great day, and God bless.